Alright. Everything's up and running. Moxall, I'm here for Modern. I've literally said in the description that I'm playing Legacy, and also at the bottom there's the stream title, and I'm playing Legacy. Yay here. No one wants to actually watch me play Modern. I might play Modern tomorrow just because like that's gonna be my last stream for the week, because you know Thanksgiving, I'm going up to the family on Wednesday, so I'm probably gonna. You don't actually want Eldrazi, Texas. Don't lie to yourself or me. Okay, now you're just. We've gone from sarcasm to just bold-faced lies. But anyway, yes, we are playing some Legacy Death and Taxes today, like we did last week towards the end. So I stopped going crazy. Man, the one thing I hate about Walking Ballista is that Moto always hides it way back here. Because it's like a double X spell or something. And playing Palace Jailer makes it so that like it doesn't all fit nicely on one thing. I guess I could move the whole sideboard like that. And then we can actually show a curve. But then it looks so cramped over there. I don't like that. I like the sideboard a little bit more spaced out. You get more space for everything. Anyway. We are going to be playing similar list that we did last time. What's up all the time? How's it going? I'm going to cut this Mission Factory because it's bad, and I just want to be playing 23 lands. I don't know what I want to play in that slot. I guess it's just Mother of Runes, right? I'll just go back to Mother of Runes number 4. Like, I'm not super happy with any of the other options. Like, I could play a second Mirren Crusader or something. That's the only thing that really appeals to me, and I'm not certain that's better than just, like, the 4th Mom. I do kind of like 3 Kata, but at some point I do want to, like, jam the various Delver matchups, Grixis and Death Shadow, to make sure that I'm not hedging my deck too heavily towards, like, Miracles and Grixis and gonna get run over by Delver decks if I play against them. I guess Eldrazi kind of falls in that camp, too. We're cutting down on hate for that deck. It's like Path, Judgment, and a Relic Order, which isn't great. No 4 Moms was sketchy. Yeah, it was an idea that Phil had during... He had a D&T workshop last week where he was like, Mom's not at its best right now, and I vaguely agreed. So, while I'm not opposed to like shaving a Mom in the current meta, I also don't really see the appeal of playing a different card right now. Like, I don't really like the 24th land that much. I don't really like the 2nd Crusader that much, or like the 3rd Revoker. Ancient Tomb, Thick Thought until 2019. I mean, I'm definitely interested in kind of rolling with Yaz's idea, and maybe taking it to its logical extremes. But its logical extreme, I think, just ends up at White Eldrazi, which I discussed with some of the people in the Discord. But like, you could like main deck Chalice, play a bunch of Ancient Tombs, just like expand on the 2 and a white creatures like Thick Thalia and Wingmare and stuff, Jailers, Ballistas, and stuff like that. But anyway, I think I'm just gonna run it like that. I need to update the deck lists. +1 Mom. Cut the Mishra's Factory. Does White Eldrazi run? Does White Eldrazi run Thalia too? Yeah. The White Eldrazi list, like, it runs a lot of the Death and Taxes vein cards, but you cut all the 1-drops, obviously. We're playing against Riche again. We played him the last round of our last league that we played. And we just queue into him a second time. But anyway, you cut, like, the 1-drops for, like, Soul Lands, Chalices, and, like, Eldrazi. Displacer, Thought-Knot, Reality Smasher. Sometimes some main deck Priests. Ugh, this hand... I mean, if he's playing Miracles again, I kind of like this hand if we draw a 3rd land. I wonder if I'm supposed to keep this in the blind. love it, but I think it's like I also hate turn to Revoker on the play. This is very hard to nail down sometimes. I'll keep it. See how it works out. Is Cardboard Live working? Doesn't look like it. Don't know why Cardboard Live never wants to work. Whenever I boot up the stream. I go over and reset the token or whatever. Update stream. Might need a refresh. Oh, I didn't realize we had started. Might be. Alright. Are we still on Miracles over there? Definitely not. Alright. Well, I had a couple thoughts there, and now I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, like, just weird deck. Because I saw Mox Diamond and I thought lands. I saw Bayou and I thought Loam. And then I saw Ghost Quarter, and now I think it's... my best guess is still like Loam with the Ghost Quarter. Yeah, well, at least this turn 2 Revoker on the play is pretty good. Mox Diamond. I guess Depths. Yeah, it could be Slow Depths. That's fair. I think I'm still just like naming Mox Diamond. Kind of forgot Slow Depths had a lot of those tools, but that definitely makes sense. I think the deck list should be updated now. Can someone tell me if Cardboard Lives work? Oh, there it is. Yeah, Cardboard Live looks like it's working. Cool. A Bob. Yeah, Slowdips would make sense here. I might actually just recruit a Ballista to kill this. If we draw a land, maybe we just recruit Jailer, though. I like grabbing Ballista here. Just Ballista down this Bob. Yeah, getting one Bob trigger. He's at 2 cards in hand. We have a Wisp and a Caracas to stop some depth nonsense. Yeah, I like Ballista here. If I draw in land 4, I think it's an easy Palace Jailer, but I just want to make sure that I take this Dark Confidant off the board. Reveals Loam. Does Slowdips play Loam? I don't think 4-color plays double Bayou, so I assume it's Slowdips, and Loam would make sense. Just you can eventually just keep doing the combo until your opponent runs out of answers, like against Miracles or something. Just hoping for like no main deck, like I don't know, Marsh Casualties. I guess Deluge wouldn't be bad in this spot. 3 for 2, but this Dark Confidant is kind of the scariest permanent on the board right now. We can always Flicker Wisp the Diamond. Inquisition, that's rude. So yeah, the Inquisition. Opponent's just on slow depths. Yeah, okay, for sure. Absolutely converted. But the Inquisition sells you on it not being anything else. There's not a lot of decks that play all those cards. Takes the Wisp, alright. What am I recruiting for now? Maybe just another Wisp? The plan might just be to kill them now. At 10. It's like another Thoughtseize. Oof, Stoneforge. So, we're not in danger of getting comboed this turn, so I think this is a good turn to, like, tap out for something. So I think just recruiting a Wisp or something seems pretty solid. Because after next turn, we might need to start leaving up the Caracas a bunch, just so we don't die to a... Instead of 2020, you gotta watch out for, like, crop rotations and stuff. So yeah, let's... recruit. Grab a... Flicker Wisp. So Flicker Wisp does a lot of duty here. Flicker Wisp can stay back with... in tandem with Mom to just block a... block a Dark Depths token forever. So my opponent still has this Loam in hand. They can't really shuffle cards away with this deck. I don't really need to see their graveyard, though. Did we do it yet? Did we do what yet, Army? Alright, opponent plays Depths. Whatever it is. I mean, we've done it in that we have prevented our opponent from doing whatever they're trying to do. So I think worst case here is... No, it's definitely not worst case. Wasteland, okay, I see. So their hand is Loam Wasteland question mark? I'm assuming something like crop rotation. The shields are actually down again this turn for them. They can't crop rotation into the combo. They just don't have enough mana for it. So I think my opponent's just going to be pretty dead here. If I just, like, play out Wisp. And then, like, Wisp a Recruiter. I'm going to let this trade happen. I really want my Wisp to live. And I don't really care that my opponent's Mox Diamond is online anymore. Dealing them 2 puts them to 5, and then we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 with Wisp. If my opponent makes a Dark Depths, like crop rotation for Thespian Stage and plays Wasteland on Caracas. Ooh, actually then, what am I recruiting? Because I won't be able to cast another Wisp. Could recruit just like a Remorseful Cleric as a blocker. Maybe I do just need to use the Revoker right now. Or use the Mom right now. And then just recruit a Remorseful Cleric just in case. My whenever removal spells on this card? Okay. Kind of okay with this trade, honestly. Also, I forgot the Dark Depths could tap. This could have been really bad for me. Could have, like, walked right into something stupid. Yeah, and other hand is just Wasteland Loam. They actually don't even have the combo yet. Like crop rotate for the yeah. I think they almost could have. They're still 1 mana off, but if I had just like let that trade happen, and we still had Wisp plus Mom up, so. All right, so we're gonna go grab Remorseful Cleric because it's a 2-power flyer. Or not 2-power. It's a 2-mana flyer. Sorry. All right. Flips of Verdant. Granger Cropper, Dark Depths, and Mox to activate stage. Yeah, but in that scenario, we have an untapped Mom. Like, if we had let those trade, we have an untapped Mom and a Flicker Wisp, so they can't kill me. They could have, like, made the token, untap, cast the Decay... No, that doesn't work. If they Decay the Mom, and then have, like, have a second removal spell, then maybe? They're on, like, 3 mana, though. So, I think it's unlikely we could have died there. Even, like, the absolute worst case. Yeah, they could have if we, like, also the Revoker would have had to just die there. They couldn't have used the Mox Diamond without the Revoker dying, so. Alright, so they play stage. Their hand is just Verdant Wasteland Loam. So we just... Can we just lethal them? Just attack with everything? Their hand is literally... They flipped the Verdant, they looked at 3 cards of Sylvan. Their hand is Loam, Wasteland, Verdant Catacombs. If I attack with everything, they block, take 5. If they make Dark Depth, we bounce it. Unless I, like, fucked up and somehow they don't have one of these cards. Yeah. If I didn't absolutely know 100% that all those cards in their hand, this attack is, like, really risky and stupid. Just go for, like, the safe attack and win next turn. But, like, we just literally had lethal on board, so worked out. I mean, maybe they didn't goof. They might have just, like, not been able to win and hoped I messed something up. So anyway, slow depths, right? They're on, like, Bobs and probably sideboard Dread of Knights. And Liliana's and a bunch of garbage that I don't want to fight. So I want these guys. We talked about sideboarding. I know Moxel and I talked about sideboarding, but I forgot what it was. I feel like Thalia is better against slow depths than turbo depths. I could buy just cutting the whole Stoneforge package. Although, I guess we're actually 1 card short on board-ins if we do that. Bring in, like, the Miser Surgical. And I also kind of hate cutting the Stoneforge package in the face of, like, Liliana's, which you do need to pressure. Like, if my opponent goes Dread of Night, Liliana, the Last Hope, we do want to pressure. So maybe just the threat of Dread of Night makes me want to cut down on my X1s, like Thalia's, even if they're slow depths. And also, Prela just kind of sucks. Prela could actually, like, go on 3 or something. Could stand to shave some of the Stoneforge package. Batterskull and Sword still hit things pretty hard. This doesn't look unreasonable. I haven't played against any sort of depths, like turbo depths, slow depths variant, super long though, so. Surgical Finding and Never Loom doesn't seem too bad. I like Surgical against turbo depths. I'm not sure if I like it against slow depths or not. There's a chance that it's good enough, even against the slow depths variants, just surgically extracted dark depths, so you don't have to like play around dying at instant speed like every turn. There's definitely an argument for it, but I kind of want to see what Game 2 has in store for us if my opponent, like, just overloads me with a bunch of Dread Knights and Lilianas, and we need to, like, to play this mid-range game really hard. Sounds like... We do have Caracas. This hand's almost good, but I think it's just a little too slow. I think this hand is better. Definitely want a third land. As long as my opponent doesn't, like, turn 2 me. This hand can't beat the turn 2. Alright, well, this doesn't look like they're turn 2-ing me. They could still just play Dark Depths plus Hexmage here and just wreck my life. But I don't think that's worth mulling down to 5-4, especially against slow depths specifically, because they're just, like, not in on that plan nearly as much. Cards might line up for them, and they'll just go for it, because why not? But we're just kind of hoping that doesn't happen. Like, we're hoping my opponent just, like, casts Liliana at the last hope or something. Fuck. Well, we have, like, 6 draws? 7 draws, I think. Hey, easy game, easy life. I'm supposed to plow this right now because my opponent can crop rotation for Sajiri Step. I do give them the extra mana, but definitely don't want to get Sajiri Stepped here. Never didn't have it indeed. We had like 7 outs there. Probably more like 6, because I don't think Remorseful Cleric's an out. Like, it technically blocks, but I think it would die. There's also, like, just a way better luck sack, too. My opponent's not at 35 with a Sylvan Library in play. Oh yeah, good luck spelling Sajiri Step, because fucking fine now. I also don't even know if Slotus plays Sajiri Step. That seems like more of a Turbo Depsy card, but... Got a new Hexmage. I think I'm just going to develop Second Vial, honestly. Second Vial feels pretty good here, and I do get to port them. Not that it's, like, a big thing. I don't know what the command is, or how to fucking find it, so good luck, you guys. Hope my opponent's last cards aren't Elvish. Yeah, Elvish Spirit Guide Crop Rotation, I guess, does get me there. But I wasn't about to play around that. Bot's borked. Is that to, like, spell it, too? Is MTG Bot dead? Didn't it just post? Didn't it post that I was... Yeah, MTG Bot is fine. Are you guys doing the command right? Pretty sure it is exclamation point card or something. Exclamation point commands. Oh, maybe the bot is broke. Is that... I don't even know if that's the commands command. Help. Maybe the bot's broke. Maybe we're all just idiots. Honestly, could go either way. Good old Robert here. Maybe this was like Council's Judgment, that Sylvan Library. I might do that this turn. No attacks. Wow, the respect. What is this? Oh, the last card is crop rotation. I'm totally fine with this. We have a Flicker Wisp and a Recruiter and a Council's Judgment. Sure. Make a thing. I guess most of those can't actually target it, right? So we just need to, like, Council Judgment this Merit Lage, because they have a Sylvan Safekeeper. I guess the better plan is Council's Judgment the Sylvan Safekeeper, and then to Flicker Wisp the Merit Lage, right? So at least we get rid of the Sylvan Safekeeper to answer future Merit Lages. Fortunately, my opponent is drawing a ton of cards still. But then the following turn, we can, like, Violent Recruiter and Ballista down Bob, and then they're just left with a Sylvan. Could also blow up this Mox. And just leave the Sylvan Safekeeper in play. I'm kind of scared. I guess we could always revoke the Sylvan Safekeeper in the future. You know, just blow up their Mox. Cut them on mana. Not a great plan. Maybe it's just like flicker up Bob or something instead. Meh. Reveals stage. Rex Sage. Man, that's mean. I can't kill this Bob. For like another turn. We're just gonna like clock them. This Flicker was a 5-turn clock. They have no cards in hand. Get to revoke the Sylvan Safekeeper. Recruit up like another Wisp to answer a Merit Lage or something like that. I think I would honestly rather, like, port this... No, I'd rather port the stage than just cast Recruiter for... What would I recruit for? I'd just be recruiting for a Wisp. Lets me leave up Wisp next turn, though, rather than kind of having shields down for a turn. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to cast this. Let's go with Infinite Flicker Wisps. Do you just need to clock them? They're at 12. We can just probably kill them before these, like, Dark Commandants / Sylvan Libraries matter. Reveals Verdant. And then Sylvans. Oh. I guess they already played this stage. Do need to be wary of more crop rotations going forward. No blocks. I will go to 16. You got it, bud. I guess just crop rotation doesn't even do it, right? They just don't have the mana. Sylvan Safekeeper. Didn't even play the Verdant is kind of weird, I think. Unless I'm missing something. Safekeeper, definitely not Library. Yes, Library is not in fact an activated ability. As much as that one printing of it would love for you to believe. I should attack them for 6, right? I kind of actually want to keep my Recruiter alive, but it doesn't really matter. Yeah, that block's fine. Just confused why I didn't play the Verdant. What do I have a name here? I guess Liliana, the Last Hope, is like the scariest card they could probably have. Besides, like, a Dread of Night or something. Maybe I should have been playing around those a little bit more heavily. Although, I guess my opponent actually can't cast it, because we're going to just port this. Unless they have Herborg, but whatever. Can recruit Ballista to finish shooting them. That's also fair. I think my opponent is not quite dead. Actually, no, we can just flicker the... Oh, yeah. This is a name on Revoker. Yeah, in their second main, if they don't do anything, we're just going to flicker this recruiter to go for lethal. Probably should port this Thespian stage more than the Swamp, actually, especially after we named Revoker. Let's wait for this trigger to resolve. Another stage. Yeah. So my opponent's hand is Verdant, Stage, and then 2 draws from like their top 3 from these Silver libraries. Still don't know why they didn't play the Verdant last turn. It's so much harder for them to threaten like more Dark Depths. They have used 2, I suppose, right? So it's just hard for them to threaten that to begin with. Maybe the answer... No, they can't be porting the Swamp to prevent like Deluge or something. Because they have the fetch in hand. I could be porting Swamp to prevent... like, Marsh casualties? Oh, they're just dead. Cool. We did it! Turns out that matchup's still really good, even though sometimes it's kind of hard to assess what exactly your plan is supposed to be. Alright. So yeah, end of their second main, I can just flicker my recruiter, comes back, gets Ballista, attack them for 6 with Flicker West, put them to 2, cast Ballista for 2, kill them. I think I've played against this person before, but I just definitely don't remember what they're on. This ad is terrible though, so I'm gonna ship it. Yeah, this hand's not great, but better than most 5s. Scrap out all the top easy. I do vaguely want third land, especially if we're playing as like a wasteland deck. We could easily just die with this, so I think I want to top that. Shouldn't have 6. But it could be a combo deck. With Volcanic Pass, Sneak? They are on a mold of 6, notably, so that might be like their only land. They usually like to lead with fetches or just basic islands, so you don't get wastelanded. Also, it could just not be Sneak. Could just be like Grixis. Or Delver or something. Or even Storm with like a really, really weird mulligan to 6 hand. Seiju, I don't know, but it is Sneak. First inclination is correct. We draw Wasteland. I'm wastelanding the shit out of their Volcanic. Dang. I'm just gonna jam Thalio. That should hopefully throw a little bit of a wrench in their plans. Still hitting pretty good land drops. Wasteland, 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 Wasteland. I think porting might be more relevant than playing another thing. I can just play another thing next turn, and I feel like trying to keep them off of 4 mana, and unless I can find like another piece of interaction, is probably really helpful to me. Especially because they like mold to 6, led with a really clunky series of lands, and scratch to the bottom with the Preordain, so they might just not have a 4th land. So like porting this Volcanic might save my ass. Impulse? Yeah. That's probably not good. That's really helps them hit a 4th land. But again, the port can help us not die next turn at least. And maybe we can find like a wasteland or another port or like I don't know, Caracas, Sanctum Prelate. Well, that means no show and tell. Which means I think I'm just going to be porting this Volcanic Island until the end of time. What 2 do I play? Probably Stoneforge. Stoneforge for Batterskull, just to establish the quickest clock. So I play Stoneforge. Next turn they go to 12. I put it in, so they get 3 more turns. 1, 12. Like 4 more. I can't do math. I think Stoneforge is probably the quickest clock. Stoneforge for Batterskull also lets me just like keep leaving up port while putting in the most substantial threats. There's a chance I'm supposed to port this City of Traders instead of the Volcanic, actually. Because that means that they'll have 1, 2, 3 mana. Even if they have a red source, they can't cast Sneak Attack. Notably, they might be looking for a fatty, but we can't take them off of Show and Tell at this point. So taking them off of 2 colorless might be more relevant than taking them off of red. Kind of like that plan. Especially because it's specifically City of Traders. Yeah, well, we might actually just be dead here. If they just like go get 3 Show and Tells. We tried our best. Or 3 Omnisciences or whatever, the piece they're missing. Yeah. We can hope they don't have a land now for this City of Traders. Hey, we get to live another day. This puts them off of show and tell again, right? I mean, I guess they could find another land. We really wanted to find a wasteland here. Wasteland would be the perfect draw. It also accepts Sanctum Prelate. Land, not so much. We can hope they don't have Omniscience. I think we might actually just lose, like, Emrakul, so maybe that's not a great plan, but, I mean, better than nothing. Maybe they just have Grizzlebrand. And put them to 7 or put them to 6. It doesn't really matter with this Beseiju. Because I'd rather, like, put in Batterskull, I think. You have, like, Batterskull plus Mom here, too. So put them to 7. Port them. They're going to 5. And I'll have Mom, Batterskull, Thalia, Stoneforge. If it's Grizzlebrand, I can pro-black the Batterskull, attack with all 3, plow whichever one he blocks the Grizzlebrand. If it's Emrakul, I can just attack with all 3 and win. If it's Omniscience, Emrakul, then we just die. So, I guess that's that. I guess there's a chance I could, like, not port them and just play as many creatures as I can, like Cleric, Mom, Batterskull to beat, like, a single Emrakul. But it also lets them, like, possibly not tap this Beseiju, which I don't want them to do. I want them to tap this Beseiju to take 2 damage. It's probably more relevant than playing a Remorseful Cleric, because those are just guaranteed 2. They could also not have the land. Hey, we did it! They didn't have the land! all that thinking about what we could die to, and, like, none of it mattered, because my opponent actually just didn't have the other land for the show and tell. Sweet. So my opponent played Intuition, so Snapboard and Surgical. Typically, against Sneak and Show, I do not board and Surgical unless I explicitly see Intuition, or, like, maybe Cunning Wish packages. If they're on Cunning Wish, then they're more inclined to be on Intuition, so I want the Surgicals more, but usually I try to avoid it. But anyway, let's make some cuts here. Both sides fall hard. I mean, it was, like, very complex. Maybe I was, like, overthinking it a lot, but it's definitely interesting, like, trying to parse through all of the things that your opponent could be trying to do, and trying to, like, make your board state the best against the most possible outcomes, right? Like, I think we could have beaten most things there. We were dead to, specifically Show and Tell, Omniscience, Emrakul, and I think we might have been able to beat that depending on how well their extra turn went. Because mathematically, I could have still won through the Annihilator. But they could have also, like, cast a bunch of cantrips and found a Grizzlebrand and then killed me. Not keeping in 2 pots for Artisan. I think, like, Flickrest, Caracas, and Revokers are enough for Artisan. Plow is, like, a pretty miserable card. And Council's Judgments. You have, like, a lot of things to deal with Artisan. And Pal's Jailer. A lot of stuff deals with Artisan. Cut GTA and Stoneforge. That looks pretty good. I like this iteration. Thankfully, most of the Snow and Shell decks have moved off of Kozilek's Return and back to Pyroclasm and Abrade as their main removal spells, so Mother of Runes gets better again. When Kozilek's Return got printed, a lot of the Show and Tell players were playing it, and it's really obnoxious, because it just, like, murdered all your hate bears through Mother, and just your Mother Runes didn't matter. I honestly don't even know if, like, Artisan is correct to board it against Death and Taxes. I'm not an expert, and apparently you're supposed to board it in, like, in basically every matchup, but... Oof, am I supposed to just keep this? I think turn 3 Prelate on the draw is just... And then, like, we need to hit our land drop. I think that's just, like, way too weak. I think on the play this hand's a lot more tempting, because turn 3 Prelate can just, like, put Show and Tell on the ground relatively often, but... with nothing else to back it up, this thing could easily just get removed, or they could just go off before I even get there. I think we want a more disruptive hand. Yeesh. Is this more disruptive? I suppose it technically is. Yeah, I'd for sure mull that. That hand was, like, pretty bad. This hand is also terrible. I'm not sure if it warrants going to 5. It probably does. Like, any 5 with Thalia in it, I think is better. Violent 1 is good, but I don't think it's this good. I would say any hand with Thalia. I mean, I think this hand is better than... I think this hand is better than my 6 by a pretty wide margin, especially on the draw. I'm not sure if I should have kept that 6. I squared you to the bottom. Damn you, Moto. One day, someone needs to, like, confirm that Moto bug. It does seem to have it, like, way too often to be correct. We'll do it with the last Preordain. Oh, that was a pawn for that. But we'll do it with the Preordain. Bottom, bottom. Come on, land off the top. Don't think I want to Chalice on 0 here. Turns off, like, exactly Lotus Petal. Draw land, Chalice on 1 seems way better. Notably, we could also just die here. My opponent is going to untap with possibly 3 mana. Oof. Yeah, it seems like we're dead. We could Flicker Wisp Omniscience into, like, top deck Leon and Relic Order. So I guess we'll put in a Wisp. We can't even beat, like, the fatties right now, so let's just put a Wisp. Oh, well, now we can top deck, like... I'm just flickering this. Now we top deck 3 Caracas. So we have, like, the 3 and 53. Honestly fair when we mull to 5, but I could, like, get pretty aggressive with that. We're 1-0, Darkview. We played against slow depths, medium depths, whatever you want to call it. Depth with Dark Confidants. Alright. Let's go for the old... yeah, and now we're about to go 1-1. Or now we're about to go 1-1. We're about to go to game 3 against this deck. Caracas. Nope, not quite. I also forgot to file this mom. Technically, we are still alive. Is it worth losing all our permanents? I suppose it is. I suppose I'm also supposed to Violent Stoneforge to like thin my deck to make it statistically more likely for me to draw Caracas. Yeah, why not? Not like I give my opponent a lot of information by showing them Stoneforge and Sword of Fire and Ice. Although I guess I do shuffle a known card to the bottom, or from the bottom, so maybe it isn't statistically relevant. Yeah, I think this is actually, like, statistically the same deck. Because I knew there was a Flick Wisp on the bottom of my deck. Oh man, if only we had a Jailer to put in when they show and telled me. Hates modern, so try to minimize the number of modern legal spells. What did I? Oh, so I added the Cataclysm, but I did cut the factory. I cut the factory, which is not modern legal, for Mother Roots, which is also not modern legal. So, yeah, let's just do a lot better on the play. Matchup's pretty rough on the draw, on occasion. Would love to play first. I would. I would not love to keep this hand. This hand is like very aggressively medium. If I had 2 lands, yes, but oof, this hand is also aggressively medium. I hate all these hands. My opponent's on 6. Can we go to 5? This hand does kind of suck. But does it suck if my opponent's on 6 lands? Or not 6 lands, 6 cards. We could like recruit Sanctum Prelate and get there. Maybe this hand doesn't suck. We're gonna keep this up. My opponent on 6, we might actually have time to get to the Sanctum Prelate here. I think that's the most viable reason for keeping this hand. That and the Wasteland means that my lands aren't complete garbage. And the fact that the Mom protects the Sanctum Prelate if it shows up. No, I don't think I want that. I guess the biggest question is if I, like, have the fear and name Arcane Artisan with this Provoker, or I just name Sneak Attack. I think I'm just gonna name Sneak Attack. Prekeeper is way better than Crusader against Emrakul. I mean, neither of them are very good against Emrakul, let's be real. Ooh, Stoneforge. We can just play that instead of my Revoker. We're also going to attack with this Mom. We have nothing important to protect. Also, we're going to grab Sword, I think. We don't have ports tying up our mana. It's going to be hard to fit this in, but yeah, we're definitely just attacking with Mom here. Nothing important to protect. Really hoping they'd have a volcanic island at some point. But wishful thinking. Sneak has a lot of basics. The advantages of playing a 2-color deck is that Wasteland is not nearly as good against you. Ooh, that's a really good draw. What up? Why do you need my phone?
I'm gonna transfer all the cat pictures.
Oh, okay. I almost want to grab like a Flicker Wisp instead now. Because if I grab Sanctum Prelate and my opponent like Show and Tells Omniscience, we just lose. If I grab Flicker Wisp and my opponent Show and Tells a Grizzlebrand. Well, we're putting in Wisp though, so I can't like pretend like I'm gonna know that. God, too many decisions. Thinking is hard, guys. I think we're just going to Sanctum Prelate. My opponent needs exactly Omniscient Emrakul. It's like actually kind of likely. Could also grab Relic Order, but I think that's just worse. Worse than Omniscient? Alright, worse than Flick Wisp? I suppose. I think I do not want Sanctum Prelate here. Because we have... No, thank, just recruit. Because we have Revoker, so if we recruit like Wisp, we have to like revoke Grizzlebrand. No, we'd have to put it Wisp. I think we just like Daddy Grizzlebrand at that point. And just casting this Recruiter. Notably could get Palace Jailer, but again, these lands all seem very greedy against getting Omniscienced, which is why I think I'm just going to grab Wisp. Also, again, nothing important to defend, attacking for 2. So we're going to hope that they don't have Grizzlebrand here. Or I guess also Force of Will now. That's a reason to get Relic Order. If I get Relic Order, then they don't necessarily go for it. Please, no Force. Wow. What? Why is this still in your deck, opponent? That is kind of frustrating. Spellpierce seems like not the card you want to leave in this matchup. Definitely got punished for not getting a Leonin Relic Order there specifically. But my opponent notably did have the Emrakul, so if we grab Leonin Relic Order, my opponent could easily just show and tell in the Emrakul, which we did not have a plan for. I guess we did have a plan, right? We had the Council's Judgment. We could have just, like, killed it outright. I'm pretty salty we got by, like, exactly Spell Pierce, too, instead of just, like, Force of Will. That's kind of annoying. Spell Pierce seems rancid in this matchup. How is that not the first card you cut? Show and Tell. Well, I'm not playing a Show and Tell a lot. Nine and 7 losses, yeah. We won game 1 in a semi-miraculous fashion. We lost game 2 and 3. I'm gonna go bitterly look up a sneak and show list to see if there are actually worse cards to port out. Getting a Relic Order plays around Spell Pierce. Yeah, it plays around counter spells, but I wasn't playing around specifically Spell Pierce. But I think my line was worse just against Force of Will, but I'm not sure. Like, if I grab Relic Order, my opponent doesn't necessarily go for it, right? But is that what we want? Is that just my plan? To hope that they don't find an answer to getting Relic Order? It's been on the play. Pierce not that big of garbage of tag ball. No, my opponent was on the draw. That was game 3 when we won game 1. Oof. I'll draw this hand. Yeah, after like main deck Flusterstorms and their main deck like if they had main deck Flusterstorms or if they had like, oh, we saw the Beseiju, but after that, I feel like easy cut all the Spell Pierce. Do I keep this hand? Probably not. All these opponents look familiar today. I feel like I've played against this opponent too, but I definitely don't remember what this person's on either. I'm gonna draw. Since maybe good enough. I'm gonna keep. I'd be really sad when my opponent's on like Delver. We're just gonna get steamrolled. Oh no, my opponent's on Post, right? I would assume Turbo Depths from the Urborg start, but I think I remember my opponent being on Post. Oh nope, I guess I remembered incorrectly. Luckily, we kept a Wasteland Caracas hand against Turbo Depths. We did it. Alright, later, Army. Have a good one. Also, I think Spell Pierce is, like, kind of a complete garbage fire, even if you're trying to, like, even if you're tagging files with it. You just, like, draw it anytime after turn 1. It's, like, the only instance of sorceries are in the deck, or if non-creature spells in the deck, are 2 Council Judgments, which are pretty stock, and then 4 Vials, and, like, tagging equipment doesn't exactly seem like your MO. Seems pretty rancid. So I have no idea what my opponent takes here. Probably just totally dependent on the context of their hand. Revoker, so I can't name. Whatever that thing is. We'll lead with Wasteland. I almost want to Wasteland this, but this prevents them from just going Dark Depths. Guy, getcha. I mean, so does Caracas, but that plays into more things. A Bob, sure. Stage. So now we do have to worry of crop rotation, because my opponent can crop rotation for lethal. They crop rotate the Bayou into Dark Depths, tap the Urborg in the depths for 2 mana, tap the stage, do the whole thing. But we have Caracas, so if they like go for it right now, it's like actual no way it pays off. Opponent did not want to leave up. Didn't want to leave up like crop rotation threat. What's up, Romario? So we actually don't have to worry about dying right here, right? Opponent just like tapped their Bayou. Kind of weird. I'm gonna hold this Caracas in hand until like the turn I want to make sure that I'm like playing around dying, because I don't want to expose it to like Ghost Quarters or Wastelands or whatever. Oh, I guess they couldn't leave up crop rotation, right? Except this Thalian play. Oh yeah, or Spirit Guide crop rotation, which they could do. Maybe the play just like Flicker with my Caracas. Flickers is the safest play, right? Flicker with Caracas. Puts the Caracas into play, but is probably fine. Yeah, I don't hate that. Next turn we can start like playing our 3-drops and leaving up Caracas instead. This turn lets us cast a 3-drop while still having our shields up. Maybe we should have attacked first to see if they wanted to, like, trade Hexmage for Thalia. And if they did, then I can make a different play, because they can't kill me this turn. Like, just jam Hallowed Spiritkeeper or something. I do like how many blockers for Merit Lage Hallowed Spiritkeeper could make. There we go. Don't think very many people playing the turbo version. Yeah, we played against Slow Depths like round 1 of this league, and suddenly we're playing against it again. That being said, there are enough like differences that there are enough similarities, I guess, that I wouldn't be surprised if like randomly seeing an Elvish Spirit Guide. To the point where like I should probably play around it, so I don't, because I'd rather not randomly die when I can still make like relatively efficient plays. Like running out 3/1 flyers against the Turbo Depths deck. Or whatever. The X depths. Slow depths, medium depths, whatever you wanna. Oh, they play this stage. The subsequent turns I can just start recruiting for like more wisps or ballistas to gun down my opponent's stuff. Could put Prelate on. Prelate doesn't really go on a good number here. 1 to play around instant speed death from like crop rotations. I put it on 2 to play around abrupt decay effects. Well, they can't abrupt decay my Thalia, so. So that was a pretty efficient turn. Kind of like traded resources. My opponent drew an extra card, which I don't love, but now we get a turn of like we can tap out. Yeah, I really actually just want to go get a Ballista here. Just recruit for a Ballista, gun down a bunch of their stuff, possibly like wasteland the stage too. They did miss a land drop. Wasteland the stage right now doesn't seem horrible. I'm kind of tempted. It's like tap out. Opponent can't kill me right now. Let's attack first, see what happens. I don't think they're going to trade Hexmage for Thalia like on this board state, so... Oh wow, what? Alright, I honestly didn't expect this. Yeah, let's go get a Ballista for this Bob, I guess. Kind of scared that we're going down cards that can beat Merit Lage, but we'll have a Spirit Keeper at some point. We have this Caracas still that they need to answer. There's a chance we're supposed to just let them keep drawing cards. I guess Jailer's probably actually just better than Ballista here, right? Could get punished if they Wasteland me. Let's grab Ballista for safety. Inquisition. Oh no, I should have got the Jailer! Ballista keeps getting taken by Inquisition today. Ah, well, they also keep Inquisition Thoughtseizing me today, so I guess it doesn't matter a lot. Holy shit. Guess we just, like, don't get to cast any spells today. Fuck. was not... I guess there wasn't really a way to play around triple Thoughtseize, but that's a little bit obnoxious. And so it's drawing a bunch of lands here. Ooh, that wasteland's not good. That means we could be dead at any moment. Jeez. Was happy with like double Thoughtseize too. Like double Thoughtseize was pretty fine, and then just like the triple Thoughtseize happened. It just got way, way, way worse. Draw a Palace Jailer. Actually, Palace Jailer wouldn't be good. I just want like a plow for this tracker. Too bad you can't name Clue Token with Revoker. This will always plague me that you can't name Clue Token with this card. Man, getting Junded out here feels pretty bad. Not gonna lie. Thoughtseize Bob, Decay triple Thoughtseize. Die to an unanswered Bob over X turns. Opponent's got it all locked up for next turn, I guess. Give it a stage. It's looking so good to so bad in like one turn of 3 Thoughtseize effects. Can't even trigger this GT. My opponent's a Hex Mage. Shit. That sucks. That feels really bad. Losing game 1 to Depths is pretty rough, considering how good the matchup is. Did I break in Relic Order last time? I feel like I should have. It's like the Sylvan Library, whatever deck. Almost want to bring in like some number of Cataclysms against the Slow Depths deck, but I guess Cataclysm's not really good against Bob, Tireless Tracker. What did I cut last time? A bunch of Thalias. The game was about Bob and holding the discard to clear the way was wise. I mean, like, there's just in clearing the way and just, like, getting your hand ripped apart, right? Like, there's not a lot of, there's play when your opponent Thoughtseizes you. There's not play when your opponent Thoughtseizes you 3 times and you have 3 non-lands in hand, right? It does explain the snap trade on the Thalia, though. They just wanted to, like, fire off a bunch of discard. Their hand was just not conducive to depthsing me. Where did I cut last time? I feel like I cut GTA, and that seems like really wrong against the creature deck. What do I want to cut after this? Prelate kind of sucks. I do kind of vaguely like Prelate because of like anti-deluge / Liliana the Last Hope stuff / also doesn't die to a onboard Dread of Night. Maybe for that reason I should shave like a mom. Just because I don't want to get wrecked to Dread of Nights. This was like leave this in and cut a second mom. Flickers is like the best X1 we have. I guess Remorse Cleric isn't very good. I can see cutting that. It doesn't do anything. There's not a lot of graveyard interaction. It just like blocks a Merit Lage if you also have a Mom in play. So yeah, I could buy actually doing that instead. I don't know if it'll let me submit that deck. Guess we'll never find out. Actually, we might find out if we draw a Remorseful Cleric or a whatever the other thing was. These hands I'd keep against like slow depths, but it's always terrifying because you can just die, right? You just get turn 2'd. Not super common that you get turn 2'd though. Can we get a better hand? We'd probably get like a much better hand, right? Although we don't have that many 2s left in our deck, I guess the better hands would just involve Aether Vial and some number like Wastelands and stuff. Spree Keeper is pretty good if my opponent's not on Druid of Night. I don't like this hand. I also don't like this hand, like, at all. This hand also sucks. But I'm gonna keep this one. At least we have play if my opponent just, like, turn 1 Druid Knights me. Oh, man. Goodbye, Relic Quarter. I'm gonna, like, snap off the Wasteland on Zerborg. At least I think I am. Take the second Mom. Interesting. We don't really have counterplay to getting depth here, but I don't even know if I need to like make that a priority or I just need like I think I just need to stall for time to draw a better hand. Oof, that's their land. Then we actually might be able to do something. Am I supposed to wasteland a colorless source? Probably not. Might need to actually play Relic Order as a 2/2 for 2. So I can get a clock on the table. Which also feels really bad, especially if my opponent did like cast Sylvan. But I think if they had Sylvan Library or something that they wanted to actually protect, then they would have taken the Relic Order over the second Mom. I think I'm just gonna jam this. They know it's in my hand, so it does get a lot worse. They might have just been playing the Sejiri step because they have like a second land, but they wanted to cast a 2-mana spell. Fetch Forest, I'll be kind of sad. If Fetch Bayou, we can actually do something. Unless this is like Loam. Scrying. For stage, huh? I'm supposed to wasteland this Bayou. It does get very dangerous. I'm really playing with fire if I do that. It's just get really dangerous. Why did they get stage? Stage plus rotation doesn't even kill me. It would take them a while to get to like stage mana. Yeah, we're gonna go for it. Our hand is bad enough that we do need to get a little bit lucky here. Surprised you weren't attacking with Mom here. Opponent does have removal spells, right? I don't want to like just toss the Mom in the garbage, but there's a chance that I'm actually supposed to be attacking with Mom. Hey, that's something. I guess maybe I'm supposed to attack with Mama there, because it's just very hard for them to actually cast a removal spell at this point, just based on their current like mana problems. Alright, so next turn they can depths me, which is very bad. We aren't dead to it because we had to gain life. But we need to find one of our many answers to it. Because they just could, like, play the stage here. Yep. We have, like, a ton of things we can draw. I wonder if that, like, 3 damage is going to end up mattering. Oh, nice. Never mind. Bing. Bump this up twice. Never didn't have it. Yeah, I think it would have actually ended up mattering, right? Like, at least one of those damage. So that turn, they would have been at 9, and we'd be at 22, so we'd be going to 2. We could only attack for 6 that turn. Oh, yeah. If we had hit them 3 times with Mom, I think we might have actually. Will I play 3 Carcass of this? Yeah, exactly. Notably, we did have a lot of outs at that point. We had like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20? 21? We had like almost all of our deck could have prevented like the single Merit Age, so not a huge deal. So my opponent has Caracas in their deck, so I really don't want Thalia. Like playing Thalia when your opponent like plays and your opponent plays Caracas is miserable. And also Thalia is just like not great in this matchup. And it's a pretty easy hedge against Dread of Night. I'm gonna cut the Cleric and bring back in the where's my boy? The Prelate. But yeah, I think the 3 hits with the Mom actually definitely mattered there. And I think there were a couple of points where we could have pretty safely attacked, because I think most of the removal in their deck is... Oof, I think I'm going to keep this hand on the draw. This game has a lot of good tools. I guess on the draw we can get Thoughtseized, though. My opponent has a lot of Thoughtseized in their deck. They've opened both games on like Land Inquisition. Yeah, I think actually we're going to mulligan this. This hand is definitely better, but I don't know how much. I think all the removal is like Abrupt Decay, Assassin's Trophy adjacent. Risky. I thought this said risky ship. I was like, wait, what? But yes, the hand is definitely risky. I hate keeping those hands against like Thoughtseize Abrupt Decay decks because we just die to both of those. We could possibly die to both of those cards like on the spot. Man, I hope my opponent doesn't just kill me. Well, that's close. Actually, not really. We have Council's Judgment. We just need to find a white source. It's like pretty fine. Not a white source, but I think it's more reasonable to develop than porting them is. The question is, do I want to wasteland them? And then I think the answer is no. I'd rather leave up wasteland so I'm not getting like randomly depth. We have a lot of turns before we have to like actually deal with this Lily. We just need to find like any white source in our deck. Yep. God, I actually hate tapping out for this Council's Judgment right here. It puts the shields down on this wasteland, which makes me really nervous. Especially now that they have Sylvan Safekeeper in play, I think Wasteland's like one of the only things possibly stopping me from killing them. So I think I might actually port them, and then next turn I'll use Plains Port to Council Judgment the Lily and leave up Wasteland to continue trying to stop them from comboing. The Lily ticks up to 6, so it doesn't like affect any of the math here, so I think that's fine. I guess it's worse against like exactly Thoughtseas, but I think that's a risk I'm willing to take because if my opponent makes a Merit Lage in this board state, we are like super dead. Someone my opponent could turn their stage into a. Yeah, obviously, I think they would have just like cast discard by now if they had it, so they would have to like, just randomly draw it. In which they could easily have Dark Depths and are actively finagling towards it. Well, I'm kind of bummed there, because I kind of wanted to battle on this Mom, but now I'm not going to, so. Goodbye, I guess. I just really hope they don't Thoughtseize me for like one turn. Definitely risky, but possibly worth it. I think they're more likely to have Depths combo than they are to have a Thoughtseize here. Is basically what I'm trying to get across. Perfect. This is exactly what I wanted to have happen. Now we get to leave up Wasteland to continue protecting us from the combo. I don't want to just like fire off this Wasteland because I'm scared of crop rotation. Okay, now if they have crop rotation, we're super dead. Yeah. I'm going to concede to crop rotation here, and I think I'm just going to play Recruiter plus Mom. We don't have any other options, right? No, so we have 12 minutes on the clock, so we're fine. So I could recruit, like, nothing helpful. So I think just recruit Wisp is my best plan, and just by getting the Mom into play as well, I get to, like, have Wisp plus Mom as protection against Dark Depths. If they have crop rotation, then we're just fucked. And I don't think we can even do anything about it right now, even if they have crop rotation. Yeah, Jailer's another. I don't really love Jailer here. I guess it does draw me 2 cards. I think I just like keep making a bunch of Wisps. They only have 1 card in hand, so. Don't kill me. Don't do it. Don't activate it. Don't activate that stage. I don't want to see that shit. Just pass the turn. Oh no. God. I'm scared. Oh, thank God. That's so much better. That's so much better than what I thought it was going to be. Whew. Alright, now we need to fade, Dread of Knights? And also kill them. I think I'm feeling safe enough that killing them is next on the agenda. Am I just like recruiting a bunch of wisps and hoping that they never find a Dread of Night, or am I like recruiting a walking ballista or something to make better use of my mana every turn? Just jam a giant ballista and beat them down with it. And also, notably, I could like ping off this Sylvan Safekeeper. Ooh. But it does have a lot of land. Jailer, so if they find Dread of Night, you can draw out of it. I don't like Jailer doesn't win, right? If they draw Dread of Night, like it doesn't kill the Sylvan Safekeeper, right? They just give itself Shroud. I do get to draw 2 cards a turn, but I mean Ballista also like is just a better clock than Jailer, right? Because I can pump it up a bunch every turn. I think it might be. It's probably either Jailer or Ballista. But I don't hate Ballista, just basically forcing them to sack a bunch of lands or get rid of the Safekeeper, which is relevant because I have a Source of Plowshares in hand. Also takes care of, like, Bobs and stuff. I mean, I guess takes care in the same way that takes care of Safekeeper, which is to say not a super lot. Because people don't care all the time. People, unfortunately, do not care about that sort of thing. They're like, oh, he produces good Magic content, I'll just watch him anyway. He definitely has a lot less viewers than he did, like, before that whole stuff went down, though. So, small victories. It's becoming a basic Plains, so I can't Wasteland it. I don't really care. That's fine. Wasn't planning on firing off this Wasteland anytime soon anyway. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I did used to watch the streams back in college. What's this? Double black. Oh no, Hexmage beats Walking Ballista. I didn't play around this one, guys. Man, that's a bummer. Oh, well, we still have Wisp to clock now. But would definitely love to Palace Jailer here a lot more. Did not play around that one. Ooh, this is actually starting to get scary. Opponent suddenly has a lot of tools. We need to make sure the Sylvan Safekeeper gets off the board. I guess even then, we still have Mother of Runes Flicker Wisp, so we're not, like, dead here. Also, I guess, yeah, we actually use Mom to protect the Ballista, so we're okay. We're okay against a lot of this. Hang on, alright. I may have overreacted. I suddenly thought we were, like, very in the ground here, but... We're more okay than I thought. I think the opponent's deciding, like, how they want to try to go for this. Yeah, it's okay. It's definitely not great because they can like successfully make a 20/20 right now, which is scary. They can also force them to like sack a bunch of lands with Ballista and then possibly plow it and put them like 35 or whatever. So if they wasteland my wasteland, then I wasteland. Long game goes better for us, right? Kind of. They are drawing towards like Dread of Knights, which are really scary. Also, this deck is just horrifying to play against all the time. But in general, yes, I think our top decks are going to be largely better than theirs. The opponent has decided that doing nothing is the correct line, I guess. I think I'm going to shoot this Sylvan Safekeeper a non-zero number of times here to make them sack lands. I think the answer might be just shoot it twice. They might just sack the 2-tapped Bayous to continue leaving up very scary lethal, but this is definitely a nerve-wracking board state, that's for sure. A lot of moving parts. It's like Mom plus Flyer, Wastelands, Depth Stage, Hex Mage, Ballista. Alright. Gonna ping Safekeeper. Ping Safekeeper. Yep, that's fine. I just don't even think I'm casting the Stoneforge. I think I'm leaving up like a bunch of stuff to like pump up ballistas and do stuff like that. I'm just like not even attacking this turn. I definitely don't want to die, and I need to like navigate out of this board state as fast as possible, which probably involves like Rishadenport plus like Ballista Pump plus holding up Wasteland. So I'm gonna see if they make the move on my end step or something. Oh yeah, they have that Mox Diamond. Kind of forgot that off to the side there. This looks like activate Thespian stage. Don't they use Hexmage first? If they just use stage, then they have to use either... Yeah, no, this doesn't work, right? They have to either use Wasteland or Depths first. So I let this resolve. Legend rule, this is the only one left, and I just Wasteland it, right? So it's not like I can do anything about this anyway, so I'll let this happen. I guess I could Wasteland the Depths, but I'll let that happen. They have to legend rule away their other dark depths. We wasteland this dark depths. Then we're fine. I think they needed to activate Wasteland or Hexmage first. Unless I'm missing something. Or their one card in hand is somehow gonna wreck me here. Like I said, very, very complicated board state. My opponent could have easily, like, mucked up one thing. Or maybe they didn't muck up a thing. Like, I don't know what their options totally are. Yeah, I think they wanted to wasteland my wasteland first. But then I could have just ported their stage in response. I guess they could... And then if I try to wasteland it, then they hexmage it. Jeez, there were so many things, like, so many lines that could have happened here that, like, are super, super weird. Yeah, simply make it... Yeah, if they just go for the easy one, we just get to wasteland it, and we're happy. But there are, like, a bunch of things my opponent could have done. I think most of them end up with my opponent having a 20/20 in play, but we continue having Mom plus Wisp and, like, this Plow, and we're working towards eliminating, like, all their lands with, like, Ballistaing their Sylvan Safekeeper repeatedly. So eventually they'll either need to get rid of the Safekeeper or not be able to cast anything, and then we have this Plow for the Merit Lage. So I wasn't in the worst spot, but I think this turn of events is a lot better than what could have happened. Based on if my opponent, like, activated Hexmage first, or wastelanded my Wasteland first, or, like, did something. I think this play felt pretty wrong, unless my opponent has some, like, weird card that I'm not thinking about in their hand. They could have hexed your Ballistic. I mean, yeah, I thought about hexing. I thought that initially. That was, like, the first thing that came to my mind. I was like, not that they could make a 20/20, that they could kill my Ballista. I was really sad. They also, like, can't even kill the Ballista, because Mother of Runes can give her pro-black. But I was just really sad that my Ballista was getting savaged by something that I had not thought about. But yeah, Hexmage is very good against walking Ballista, as it turns out. Like, if they Hex Mage the Walking Ballista right now or something, I just pump it to a 2/2, ping the Safekeeper. If they, like, save it, ping it again. If not, ping their face, whatever. Walking Ballista's dead. And we still have a board filled with things, and, like, double port, and even if they Dread of Night me, we have Stoneforge to build back up. And they have, like, no board state, basically. They have, like, maybe 2 lands in play and 2 cards in hand, something like that. So I think we're good here. I think we're good now. I don't know what happened to my opponent. My opponent might be, like, raging off of the planet Earth. Hexing Ballista forces Mom to tap, so Wisp block clears the sky. Yeah, if they, like... They would need to have made a 20... Oh, okay, yeah, you're saying so end step. I would have let the Ballista die in that case, I think. So yeah, let's say... So if they Wasteland my Wasteland... Oh, hang on. We can maybe discuss this later, because I think they finally passed priority. Oh, I forgot to port them. Oops. Oh, well. Port this now, I guess. I'm actually supposed to like be pinging the Safekeeper, I think. I don't want to start attacking with this Ballista, but Sylvan Library. Well, they don't really get to draw that many cards off of it. They just get to kind of look. So they just start getting beaten down in a second here. Oof. Okay, I think this game's over now. Whew. There's a lot of stuff to break down about how that... I don't know what was in their hand, but a lot of stuff to break down about that turn. Wasteland my Wasteland. Response I Wasteland like something of theirs. They activate Depths, make it 20/20. They can Hexmage my Ballista, and then I like just pump it and ping the Safekeeper twice. Use Mom plus Wisp to fight off Merit Lage for a turn before like plowing it. Alright, so their Sylvan just lets them look at the top 3 cards of their library now. They're just dead. We untap with Ballista and kill them. They can't Abrupt Decay because we have Mom. They could have like, okay, they're just dead. Dread of Night into Abrupt Decay. Then they're at 1. We still Stoneforge and have double removal, so whatever. Yeah, that was a game. Whew. Some crazy ass hoops to jump through there. We won. We actually lost game 1, which is unlikely against the various Depths decks. Definitely happens. I have to go back and look at that sometime. So now it's like, is there too many things happening? I think we're still fine. I think they end up with like either very little lands or no. I think they end up with like no Safekeeper. Because I don't think they have enough lands left if they like Wasteland me. I think they end up with like a Mox Diamond, and they're at like 35, so they could like draw Dread of Night and get me. But no, we have Stoneforge in our hand, so we just like Stoneforge up, sort of Fire and Ice, and start beating them down. They did draw a Sylvan Library, but I don't know. I think we were good in most ways that turn breaks, but definitely could have fucked that up easily. Like, could have gone either way. This is why we don't have double Crocus, or triple Crocus. Drawing Crocus last round was really good. Drawing 2 this hand is not super good. We're going to keep this anyway, though. This hand's pretty solid. Taiga. Lands? What the fuck? Really don't want to play Thalia against a Taiga Noble Hierarch deck. You want to... Okay. Oh. She's not the good... Oh god, she's just gonna stab me. Yeah, she's not the cat that's... Yeah, she's the good cat. Humans are punishing Maverick? I don't think... Humans isn't gonna be playing Taiga. Punishing Maverick plays like a 1 of Taiga. I don't think it gets either of those decks I want. I thought I didn't play either. Yeah, Taiga's definitely not a humans thing. I think we're just gonna like Stoneforge for GTA regardless. If they're like a no Hierarch deck, I think Stoneforge for GTA is pretty fine. Unless I'm like grossly misinterpreting whatever the fuck they are. Alright, punishing Maverick makes the most sense, but like, I don't think that deck plays a plateau. Unless I'm like very mistaken. Yeah, maybe this was actually like Cleric that punching fire away right now. Please wasteland me. Thank God. Yeah, this feels like punishing Maverick, but the plateau just feels really weird. Like, I don't feel like that's a normal card. Am I supposed to jam GT here? Am I supposed to just jam Remorseful Cleric? Am I supposed to immediately sack the Remorseful Cleric to prevent them from, like, recurring Wasteland and eat this Punishing Fire? But then we don't get to, like, connect with GT. Have some Naya 4-color Loam decks. Like, Noble Hierarch, though? Aren't the 4-color Loam decks, like, Mox Diamond Chalice decks? Yeah, but if they play Grove, then they can respond too, and if they, like, removal spell me, but... Cleric's just, like, the mana inefficient play, which is why I don't like it, but it's probably fine. Does let them, like, play this Wasteland, but... They can't Wasteland me. They get to Wasteland me next turn, I suppose, but... It's like, Coder? No, just Hardcast Sword. It's a little scary. I almost just want to trade for that. That can't be right. Yeah, it seems to be Maverick. I assume there's Stone Fortress in their deck. This Plateau is just throwing me off, because it seems like a really bad card to have in your deck if you're, like, Maverick splashing P-Fire. I'm going to attack with neither. I really don't want to, like, die to a removal spell here. Oh, man. Now we still died to removal spell. That's super rude. They just, like... I guess they need 1-drop removal, like Plow equip, we die. I guess we're still kind of dead here, right? Because they can recur the Caracas even if we Wasteland it down. Kills Punishing Fire. We draw, like, Plows and stuff, too. Or we could just, like, draw nothing. Banner Skull is pretty rancid. We're just, like, chump blocking this Ramanov Excavator again. Caracas plus Ramanov Excavator means this Thalia. I can't just, like, Thalia plus GT equip. We just need to, like, find a 2, right? Definitely not a favorable position. Also not a favorable matchup. Maverick's not great, and Maverick with Punishing Fire is super not great. Seems kind of like a weird choice. Just not equipping there. Don't know what they're trying to get on the table, but I feel like equipping there is pretty easy. Just get to free murder that Flicker Wisp. Green Sun for 3. They're just making a Knight? I guess Rex Sage maybe on my GT? Or Knight of Bottom? Yeah, that makes more sense. Still think like the Sword equip just straight up kills the Wisp. There's like no reason to just not equip an attack, right? So we could get our sort of Fire and Ice online now. Huh. How about that? I don't just play this Batter Skull, but what if we just, like, race swords? Might want to find any removal, we fucking die in a fire, but might be our best option. They can't sword down our 5/3 Wisp anymore. I can, like, shoot down their guys and start punching them in the face. I think that's, like, our best line to victory. Our other plan is, like, cast Batter Skull, which does not seem like a great line to win. Notably, it also breaks it from Punishing Fire. Kill off all these things. Maybe this was just like 3-turn clock them. Oh no, we're at like 13. We can't really afford to do that. Perfect draw. They do like crunch me for 7 here, so I guess racing wasn't really a plan, was it? Unless they... Oh, now they're gonna like Quasali my sword. We have drawn all 3 Caracas. Notably, if I shot the Noble, this thing... I don't know, this thing just stacks up for me. Yeah, I think we're just dead. Yeah, no point in even playing the land. They're just gonna like wasteland me every turn. I feel like the past 2 turns they could have just equipped the sword and got in. This last turn was a little bit riskier, just equip the sword and smash. I think the turn prior, their best line was just make me kill the Wisp. What are they What are they doing? Like, we're still gonna lose, but it just feels a lot worse because they're just like rubbing it in. It's like, no, I don't. Why would I equip this really good equipment that I have right here when I could just like, yeah, hard cast a Batter Skull instead? The perfect line. Uh-oh. Internet? Ah, fuck. Wait. Are we good? Are we back? There was a hiccup. It looks like we're okay now. Hang on, I gotta reset my stream to make sure it's working. Yeah, okay, we're good. Like, dropped to 0 frames for a hot second there, but... Yeah, we could have almost done something. Now they equip it. Oh, and I have the second Noble, so I actually can't even double block it. Wow. Still at all these, I guess. How is the best line not equip and then, like, play out some of these guys? Why was the best line cast Batter Skull there? I've had enough. My draw definitely did not pan out, drawing double Thalia into not only just generally Maverick, but Maverick that just has their Caracas too, which just makes Thalia completely embarrassing. So punishing Maverick, huh? Do I want Surgicals or Rip more against punishing Maverick? Alright, catch you later, Darkview. Health Streak here is not good here. So this makes a good 60. I think the additional element of Punishing Fire makes me want... I'd probably Rip more than Surgicals, specifically in this matchup, because they have stuff like Remnant Excavator, Night of the Reliquary and stuff. And they have less answers to it, I think, as a Naya deck versus... they might be on, like, Disenchants or whatever, but they're not on Abrupt Decays or Assassin's Trophies. There's a chance I'm also supposed to bring some number of these Surgicals, because Punishing Fire is just such a beating. I guess that's actually a reason to leave him Prelate, too. Jeez, boarding against these decks is hard. I think I'm cutting Crusader against Punishing Maverick. If they have Plows too, then Plow and Punishing Fire make Crusader really awkward. I suppose I could cut these. Rover's so good against a lot of their early stuff, like all their mana creatures, turn us off moms if need be, equipment. Yeah, no, they're good in the equipment fight. I'll shave like a Wisp. Try like that. Surgical just seems like an embarrassing card if they don't. Like, their Punishing Fire was not good that game. Their Punishing Fire was a 2-mana shock. It's like, if you board in Surgical and your opponent just casts a 2-mana shock and never does anything else, then you feel like kind of an idiot. Of course, I'm just going to get, like, Punishing Fire locked out of this following game. I think I just have to keep this on 6. Maybe, like, removal spells for their early Mana Dorks or Mother of Runes or whatever. I think I will. Sometimes I like to save the removal for Maverick's threats. But I think for the sake of mana efficiency, I just want to Plow Dryad Arbor, untap Stoneforge. Especially because we still have this path left over to kill a knight or whatever in 2 turns. Maverick likes to try to skip their 2-mana turn, so my opponent likely won't have too much to do next turn. That cast Punishing Fire were kind of up shit creek. Yep. I need to listen now. So on a good spot. Playing against this deck is not in a good spot. So this is okay. We path this, untap, and GJ. Woof. Drawing mono lands here, not great. Why couldn't you have had a Punishing Fire, opponent? Jerk. Oh no, they get to buy back their fire, Punishing Fire too? That's rude. That's maximum rude. Can we not? Green Sun for 3. I'm gonna smash my GTA or just make a knight? Wouldn't be surprised at just knight. I guess they're both knight, but nope, they want to kill my GTA, I guess. I'm kind of okay with that more. They do have like a million cards up on me. Now they also have Grove Punishing Fire. Could grab Jailer. Could just grab Prelate to turn off Punishing Fire and like pray. Jailer isn't horrible to like just slam down on their first threat and try to run away with the 2 cards, but I don't like just getting Punishing Fire locked out of like all my stuff. So I think it's just gotta be Sanctum Prelate and hope I can get there with some of the other cards. Because Recruiter is for sure dead. Oh, fuck. Would suddenly love to have a Palace Jailer. He didn't kill my recruiter. Not gonna play out Caracas because I don't really want to get it wastelanded when I could top deck like Ballista or something that requires 6 mana. Oh, good. My opponent just has Plow. Sure, we're dead. This matchup is very, very bad. It's just like much worse than 4-color alone because they actually have like a bunch of threats. You can't just stall out the game infinitely. And they have like a lot more stuff like Plow to answer rather than a bunch of 2-mana stuff because they're not a Chalice deck, so they can answer your Sanctum Pearl a lot easier. Just very not good matchup. Also, notably, yeah, we were just dead. That recruiter choice did not matter a whole lot. If we had to grab Palace Jailer, we're just hosed to Scrib Ranger. And we just get all our shit P-fired down. Alright. Actually could have, like, maybe tackled a Knight, and they just also have GT, in addition to their P-fire in hand. Just, like, not win that one ever. Have I played against Punishing Maverick? I would imagine no. Yes, the answer is super no. Alright, last round. On the draw, I don't know if I love this hand. On the play, I might keep this. You can keep, like, slower hands in this format a lot of the time. This hand is excruciatingly slow, especially on the draw. We can just get ranched by a lot of things here. Opponent kept 7. Eternal Vial is so good, though. I wonder if it's worth it. Eh. And before, like, red-black Reanimator. I guess Cards wouldn't be that bad against red-black. Verdant Catacombs pass. I always get really confused when my opponents go, like, not blue fetch land pass. Because a lot of the not blue decks have a lot more proactive turn 1s. Like Maverick without a 1-drop. Elves never has a 1-drop if they keep a 7. Like 4-color Loam is probably the most likely. Because sometimes without their Mox Diamond hands they have kind of clunkers. Could just be like actual factual lands. Just basic swamp. Basic swamp therapy me. Is this just Nick Fit? I mean, it seems pretty good against Nick Fit, but if they have like Explorer, if they have like a vet, they could like nab my Palace Jailer or whatever, which is sad. Luckily they named Thalia. But them naming Thalia also makes me think that they're not Nick Fit, because Nick Fit's not scared of Thalia. They would have just named something like Stoneforge Mystic instead. Because Nick Fit would just love for me to cast a Thalia on turn 2 here. And I'm just gonna slam Stoneforge. Opponent knows I have it in hand. The opponent knows a bunch of my other cards. We're not like playing around therapy at all. Question is, what do I grab? Probably Sword. Batter Skulls. Clunky. We also don't for sure know what my opponent is playing. So I think Sword's the easiest way to hedge my bets. Notably could be, like, Rector Fit. Does that change the math on, like, them wanting me not to cast a Thalia next turn? If they have, like... What could they have? Thalia makes it so they can't flashback therapy as easy, but I think this mana base is pointing towards, Nyx Fit. Like, they're usually, primarily junk deck, typically. It's Green Sun for the old vet. And then therapy me, choosing whatever they want. Because they know my whole hand minus this prelate. I think we are just pretty stone cold to a lot of their more busted hands at this point, but that's kind of, yeah. I think my best guess is Rector Fit right now, or Nyx Fit, whatever you want to call it. The junk shell makes me think that they're just on Academy Rector and a bunch of... Your name's sort of Fire Nice, interesting. I'm for sure gonna just jailer that vet, unless they cast another therapy here. This is like Supreme Bait, which it probably isn't, because I can also Wisp the jailer later. Revoker's an interesting draw. But yeah, we're just gonna like just jailer the shit out of this. Get my jailer engine going. Do have to play around Dryad Arbor, but we have a lot of blockers, so I'm not terribly concerned about it. Also, they don't always play Dryad Arbor in this deck because of its anti-synergy with Pernicious Deed. Uh-oh. Now we're just dead to Academy Rector. Deed. We're also pretty dead to that. Not actually, no, we're not dead to that. What am I talking about? I have a Frickster Revoker in my hand. If my opponent isn't immediately able to crack this, we can also just have Hallowed Spearkeeper up on Vile in response to Deed. Tempted to Wisp this Stoneforge to just get more equipment going. I'm kind of scared of the Dryad Arbor. I don't think I should be. But is it worth attacking with Revoker? Probably not. I've been blown out by more obscure things before. Commit a shit ton to the board because we have this Hallowed Spearkeeper. So we just need them to never find Academy Rector, or we will die. Maybe there was a chance I was supposed to Sanctum Pearl on 2 to turn off Living Wish. So I think they're hitting Living Wish Rector mana now. Doesn't look like Living Wish Rector. It's like Green Sun Zenith for... Oh, this is Arena Rector. That's kind of scary. You got a Planeswalker. What Planeswalker? Ugin? Ugin's pretty bad, not the worst. Nothing I can do about this, so resolves. Oh, they do have a Dryad Arbor. Neat. It was also just in their hand. I assume this is going to be Ugin. If that's the case, they shouldn't have played Dryad Arbor. Like Ugin plus on the Revoker, and then crack Deed on 3. Then I get a Violent Spirit Keeper, and I get Jailer plus like 5 spirits to beat down the Ugin with. So that doesn't seem great. I guess we'll find out what they do. They could have like some weird jank ass Planeswalker too, like one of the bull losses, but I don't think any of the bull losses are Wraths. That seems astonishingly weak. Resolves. And now they pop Deed. Yeah, this is fine. That was like the least scary Arena Rector I've ever seen. Deed for 3 doesn't even kill the Jailer. Also, they played the Dryad Arbor. Again, they played the Dryad Arbor. Pernicious Deed for sure blows up their Dryad Arbor. Come on, crack it. Oh, they're passing the turn? Man. Well, at least we just like kill this Leona now. Don't really want to play this Prelate, right? I said just like everything feeds the Spirit Keeper. I'd rather have it as a follow-up to like beating another Deed, though. I think we're fine on this board state. Ooh, Ballista. Alright, so after one of the most disappointing Arena Rector activations I've ever seen, Now I'm going to do something here. At this point, I have Ugin in hand. That's why they couldn't grab it, and they're about to just hardcast it. It's suddenly much better. They have to -4 it to kill everything, though, and then it dies to the Spirit Keeper, so... Resolves. I guess that's something I might have wanted to look into. Like, why wouldn't they have got Ugin? Because there's, like, no way it's not in their hand. And, like, name 8 because of that. But this is fine. We just Spirit Keeper clean up the Ugin. Oh, right, they killed their Deed, too. Wow. I didn't even think about that. I was about to say, wait, where'd the Deed go? They just killed everything. Alright, cool. Alright, off to the races, I guess. Time to just, like, play a shit ton to the board. Put this prelate on 3 to not get deeded, even though it's not a big deal. Because we have the Spirit Keeper. But yeah. Now we have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We do have lethal. If they have nothing. Oh, cool. They died. So not a game that I thought I was going to win. We also didn't see Academy Rector, so we don't know if they're just on, like, the Arena Rectors. Or if they're on 8 Rector. I'm going to board as if they're just on Arena Rectors. The only difference in board plans is, like, the Leonin Relic order, so not a huge deal. Bring in, like, 10 cards for this matchup. Cut. Thalia's Spirit Keeper is actually surprisingly good against, like, Deed, so I don't hate it. Prelate, I think, is really clunky. Hard to name the correct number there. Go to GTA and Stoneforge. Could probably afford to cut, like... Oh no, we cut all the Aether Vials for This is a Nick Fit matchup. What am I doing? Something like that. Looks fine-ish. I could see swapping the Prelate for the Relic Order pretty easily, but I think something like this is close. Cataclysm is absurd in the Nick Fit matchup. Maybe I'm supposed to board in this anyway. Oh, too late. Oof. This hand sucks. A lot. But it could be good. We're on the draw. We have Port. Like, multiple Judgments is pretty decent. Put Mulligan to 6. Yeah, we'll keep, see what happens. We can, like, plow a vet, port them. Or plow a Dryad Arbor or something. As much as I want to have lands, I also really don't want my opponent to have lands, so... Goodbye forever with that. was gonna port them, but we need to establish some sort of clock rather than just trying to mana denial them. They're also having some mana troubles, I think. And they laid Forest into Dryad Arbor. Oh, maybe they aren't. Maybe they drew it. What do you got? Therapy. Well, they don't have the sword. They could also flashback therapy to hit like double judgment if they want, but then we guaranteed to have Batter Skull, so if they take both my equipment, we still have like double judgment cataclysm versus them. Oh, is this Green Sun for what's his face? Green Sun for Vet? Oh, this is just E-Leap. Okay, so they are on 8 Rector. Because Evolutionary Leap is 100% just a card you play in the Arena Rector lists. I feel like this has to be double Council's Judgment, right? If they're just going to be willing to play this Evolutionary Leap out. Nope, it's Batter Skull, so whatever. Hope we draw out a Wasteland. Just attack them to death over 20 turns with a Stoneforge Mystic. Oh, I can double my clock. I probably will. Too bad I boarded out that GT and had an opening hand with Batter Skull in it. Probably better than porting. 20 turn clock is not good. 10 turn clock is much better. I think I'm going to port rather than play Mom, though. Mom I can play if I draw one more land. And if my opponent draws one more land, there's a possibility that they can cast some number of the cards in their hand. Just the anemic beatdown game, I guess. So the more turns that go on that my opponent misses their land drop, the more turns I get punished by not playing this Mom. But if I do play the Mom and they hit the land drop, then I could get severely punished. And like vice versa. If I draw a land, then there's... I don't necessarily. Yeesh. One day this Cataclysm is going to be great. I'm going to play like Deed now. Takes the clock off the board. If we don't draw land, we get Judgment of the Deed. Ooh. Come on, land one time. I mean, been wanting land for the past couple of turns, but nice. Get out of here. Things we don't want to see are, I guess, like 5th land plus a Rector, right? Because they have the... we do have the Judgment to take care of a Planeswalker, though. Or an enchantment. But they also get to, like, cycle into a new Rector. Oh, I guess they only cycled it into the Vet. Judgment the Ugin. We also, Cataclysm the Ugin. We have Plow for the follow-up Vet. Unless they... if they draw a land, though, then they could, like, land... they can, like, keep a land, Vet, and then sack it to the Evolutionary Leap and get 3 lands, which is horrible for me. I think I'd rather Cataclysm post-Veteran Explorer, if possible. The issue being is that if they hit a Rector, Vet costs 2 mana, so it's mana neutral. So they would still be able to like make another planeswalker. I think we're gonna have to like gamble on this Cataclysm. If they miss the land and they play Vet, then we just get to plow the Vet and we're totally fine. And even if they hit, 3 lands isn't exactly enough to keep going, and they give me lands to cast my spells. So I can like then Judgment the E-Leap out of the way so they don't have a sack outlet for a Rector that they eventually hit off of the E-Leap. Perfect. I think now is the time I actually want to like just play this Mother of Runes. Start activating Rashad Port next turn. Yeah, especially because my opponent can just have a removal spell and completely negate my clock. I love if my opponent stopped hitting land drops after I Cataclysmed them. Guess the Vet's gone. Don't even know if I'm supposed to Judgment this deed away. Two. Seeing if like recruiting for what's his face? Yeah, Hallowed Spirit Keeper is actually worth it. It does make a pretty sizable number of guys. I guess, like, what else am I judgmenting, though, right? They can't actually Rector me because we have the Surgical in our hand. And they do have 1 card in hand, yeah. We're just gonna Judgment away the deed. Wow. Can we stop? Stop, please, land drops, opponent. Alright, so we put 2 turn lethal on the board. Port means they can't, like, Rector E-Leap, even if we didn't have the Surgical. What's this? Green Sun for 1? Last card's Therapy. We could be hosed. They might just, I guess they're just gonna leap this away, right? Or not. Oh, they want to block with it, right? Prevent 1 damage. I think I might have lethal. Maybe like one off. 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. One off, but we have surgical. If if I go get Walking Ballista is my thought process. Hit Arena Rector, sure. No, 6 mana, 2 cards in hand, one of which is the Arena Rector. So the obvious play, I could like recruit. If I like recruit Relic Order for like the safe play, then I die to a Deed. So I think I just like recruiting Ballista and passing because we can already beat the Rector. We die to a Therapy in that case, though. So like if they can like name surgical, I guess. Which I guess they'll just Therapy to name the Ballista first to check for it. Does anything else do anything here? No, right? Spirit Keeper, they already used their Ugin, so Spirit Keeper would be relatively safe. Yeah. They also might actually not have enough mana for, like, Therapy plus... Therapy plus Arena Rector plus Sack. I guess they go to a Sack to the Therapy, not the E-Leap. This is fine. This is fine. We did it! We beat an Ugin twice. Which is not something you can say a lot about playing Death and Taxes and Legacy. We did successfully beat an Ugin both games. So sweet. I wonder if there's like a better thing to recruit for there. Something that like doesn't put me dead to Deed, but if I get there, I guess it kind of depends. I don't really know what the Planeswalker suite is. They already used their Ugin, so I think Spirit Keeper's pretty safe. But I think that one is fine. I think we were soft to like exactly Therapy. Because they Therapy to clear the path and hit the Ballista for free because they know it's in my hand. And they see the Surgical. But then they can't do anything about it, right? They would have to have blind name the Surgical because they don't have enough mana to... And they don't have like another creature to flashback. So yeah, we're did a blind name Therapy on Surgical there. So yeah, probably fine play. Anyway, that's gonna be it for the stream today. Let's find someone to host. Oh, that's not hosting. That's Discord. mtgstreams.com. Who's playing some Legacy? Strifo, me, and Romario. Oh, Romario was in chat earlier. Let's go host him. Playing... This looks like vintage, but it might just be like a weird-ass Legacy. It does say 3-2ing legs with weird decks, so... I see Chalice, Sphere, Smokestack, Lodestone, Ox Diamond, Wasteland, Mishra's Factory. Alright, sure. Anyway, that's gonna be it for the stream today. If you enjoyed the content, you want to see more Death and Taxes stuff, we stream a bunch here, so you can drop me a follow, subscribe, or donate. Follows are totally free, help you know when I'm going live, help other people find my content. Subscriptions get you a sweet Thalia emote and Thraben-themed subscription badge in the chat. And donations, I'd be more than happy to run a deck list you want to see through a league. Just talk to me beforehand about it. Play all types of like Death and Taxi C, File decks. Other than that, you can subscribe to me on YouTube or follow me on Twitter. YouTube is where all my streams go up after they're done being live, so there's a bunch of archived footage there if you want to go see a bunch of Death and Taxes content. And Twitter is when I post, or where I post when I'm going live, as well as paper results, other stuff like that. So anyway, that's going to be the end of the stream today. Hope to see everybody tomorrow. Have a good night, morning, wherever you are.